Welcome back. Any day now, a Stockton man could be deported to a country that he has never even been to. And this is a story really involving immigration, crime, rehabilitation, and family, because this man is not alone in facing this situation. So whatever your opinion on the topic, we think that you will find this story thought-provoking. Becca Habegger spoke with this man and his family and a lawmaker trying to make change.
We have a very big family.
Big family.
When Tong Tuyen and her family get together, food and photos
Oh my god.
are always on the table.
This is when Ken decided to be a monk.
Ken Tui ultimately chose a different path. He's now a Stockton police officer.
I'm all for the law.
But federal law is now threatening to remove his younger brother, 40-year-old T. Tui, from the U.S. and deport him to Cambodia, a country he has never so much as visited.
He's not from Cambodia.
T. Tui's family fled Cambodia before he was born.
The Khmer Rouge were committing genocide and stuff, and so that's why we fled Cambodia.
T. Tui was born in a refugee camp in Thailand in 1983 and brought to the U.S. when he was a baby. His entire family resettled in Stockton, becoming lawful permanent residents, also known as green card holders, and eventually U.S. citizens, except for Tui, who never got citizenship. He fell into the wrong crowd, his family says, and began abusing drugs.
That time I was heavily on drugs. I did a lot of crystal meth.
I spoke with Tui by phone from the Mesa Verde U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, processing facility in Bakersfield, where ICE is holding him pending deportation any day now to Cambodia.
Myself, I never stepped foot in Cambodia.
So what landed him here?
It's not good. It's not good at all. It was just a bad decision. It was just stupid. I feel so bad.
In 2006, Tui, then 22, and his 19-year-old girlfriend tied up a Stockton family in their home, robbed them of $500, and abducted the 16-year-old daughter at knife point, prompting a statewide Amber Alert. CHP stopped their car heading south on I-5 just before the Grapevine. The 16-year-old girl was not hurt.
When I look back, part of my growth is putting myself in their shoes. Like, I wouldn't want nobody to do that to my family. I feel so wrong for doing it, and it hurts me to the point to where it changed me completely.
A judge sentenced Tui to 20 years in state prison. He served just over 16 years, a shortened sentence due to good behavior, turning his life around with mental health treatment, anger management classes, and other programs, working and getting his GED. In 2022, just days before Tui's release from state prison in Corcoran, he learned he would be transferred straight to ICE custody. Since Tui wasn't a citizen, his serious crimes flagged his case for deportation.
For legal residents here who's not citizens, they can get sentenced and do their time, and then they get a second punishment and get deported on top of that, which isn't fair, in my opinion.
Tui spent several months in ICE detention, trying without an attorney to plead his case before a judge.
I told the judge, my entire family, siblings, cousins, everybody's here. For them to send me back to Cambodia, where my people fled, like, that don't make sense to me.
But he said the judge was unmoved. So, discouraged, Tui signed a deportation waiver with the hope it would get him out of detention and back to his family. It did. He got out on supervised parole on Halloween of 2022 and spent a little more than a year making up for lost time with his family, including his now 19-year-old son Troy and 84-year-old mother. While out, Tui lived with and helped care for her.
Since he got out, he's doing everything he can to keep his life straight and do everything he needs to do in order to have a brighter future here.
But in November 2023, ICE took him back into custody, saying he'll be deported to Cambodia sometime in January.
It's heartbreaking. If they do send him there, he's not going to be able to survive there. He doesn't know anybody. He's not fluent enough in the language to get by.
U.S. Representative Judy Chu says Tui is not alone.
Right now, there's so many deportation orders. There are 16,000 deportation orders, and this is hanging over the heads of all these refugees.
This California Congresswoman has introduced a federal bill that specifically would help Tui and other Southeast Asian refugees who arrived in the U.S. before 2008, many due to conditions stemming from the Vietnam War.
There were those who got into trouble with the law. They served their time, but the cruelty is that when they came out, there was an automatic order for deportation. And many of these people were young or never even were in their country of origin.
There is a segment of the population who will hear about your legislation, or when they hear about it, they say, look, the law is the law, a crime was committed, deportation is just a part of the process. What do you say to folks who have that opinion?
These are people who did their time. If we actually believe in rehabilitation, if we believe that people can become better versions of themselves, then we should give people like him the ability to plead their case and to say that they have so much to contribute still to this country rather than deport them.
We're very family oriented.
As a police officer, Ken Tui enforces the law. I asked him the same question.
I'm all for you doing your time and serving the time you are sentenced, but nobody should get punished twice for the same crime that they did.
Working with advocacy groups, the family has filed a request with ICE to pause Tui's deportation and have his case reopened. A local Stockton organization serving the Southeast Asian community is also rallying behind Tui, demanding his release.
My brother T was not born in Cambodia and he served his time. He should be free. He should be able to stay in this country, united with the family.
If you do end up getting deported, what are you going to do?
I'm going to do my best, I guess. I'm going to just be optimistic. I'm 40 years old. I live here over 38 years. I'm facing deportation to a place where my people is from. I don't know, it's a scary situation, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't happen.
Tui's close-knit family members also say they want him to have a second chance.
Whatever he needs, we're willing to help. We're just there for him.
Just keep pushing.
Stay strong.
Yeah, stay strong.
And Becca joins us now. Becca, I think the biggest question is what happens next?
Hey, Alex, there are two things that could pretty much happen any day now. ICE could go ahead and deport T to Cambodia, or they could decide to grant the family's request to pause his deportation. From there, the family will try to reopen the case. Now, we should mention, if Congresswoman Chu's bill does pass, it would apply to people like T, even if he has already been deported. It would essentially be a legal pathway back to the U.S.
And before we go, I do want to ask you, what about the victims of his crime back in 2006? Have we heard anything about how they feel?
Yeah, Alex, I did try to reach out to multiple family members through phone, email, and social media saying, hey, we're doing a story on this man convicted of hurting your family. We'd like to include your perspective in the story if you want to share it. But Alex, I did not hear back from them.
All right, Becca, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And we're back right after this.